What if I told you that some of the foods you consider harmless foods you might even think are healthy could actually be fueling inflammation in your body and silently making your arthritis worse? The truth is, what we put on our plate can either act like medicine or work against us like poison. And the difference between the two often hides in everyday choices. In today's video, we're going to uncover the surprising foods that may be worsening joint inflammation and reveal smarter alternatives you can adopt right away to reduce stiffness, ease pain, and regain mobility. And make sure you stay with me until the very end because the last item on this list is one of the most commonly consumed foods in the world. And it may be sabotaging your body without you even realizing it. While those factors do play a role, there's a hidden contributor that's just as important to our diet. Science has shown us that what you eat can directly influence levels of inflammation in the body. And for people dealing with arthritis, inflammation is at the very center of the problem. Every bite of food can either increase that inflammation or calm it down. The challenge is that many of the worst offenders aren't obvious. They're hidden in everyday meals, snacks, and beverages. And unless you know what to look for, you could be unknowingly making your pain worse. But the good news is that once you identify these foods and make simple substitutions, you can experience real improvements: less pain, better flexibility, and more energy to enjoy life again. Let's start with one of the biggest hidden culprits: added sugar. You might already suspect sugar is bad for you, but few realize how strongly it drives inflammation inside the body. Added sugar spikes blood glucose and triggers the release of inflammatory chemicals, which then settle into your joints and worsen arthritis symptoms. It's not just candy and desserts, it's also hiding in so-called healthy foods, like flavored yogurts, granola bars, and even sauces. If you're waking up stiff or notice flare-ups after sweetened drinks, sugar could be a major cause. The good news: you don't have to give up sweetness altogether. Swap refined sugar for fruits that have a lower glycemic impact, such as berries, which are naturally rich in antioxidants that actually fight inflammation. This one change alone can start tipping the balance in your favor. Next up, let's talk about refined carbohydrates. White bread, pasta made from refined flour, pastries, and many packaged snacks are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients, leaving behind a product that acts very similarly to sugar once it's inside your body. Refined carbs break down quickly, raise blood sugar levels, and promote inflammatory processes. For someone with arthritis, that translates into stiffer mornings, swollen joints, and slower recovery after even simple daily activities. Instead of relying on refined grains, make a shift toward whole grains, such as quinoa, oats, or brown rice. These provide steady energy without the inflammatory spike and keep your digestion more balanced, which also plays a role in inflammation control. It's not about cutting carbs entirely, but about choosing carbs that support rather than sabotage your health. Now let's turn to one of the most surprising categories: certain cooking oils. Many people cook daily with vegetable oils like corn oil, soybean oil, or sunflower oil, without realizing that these are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we do need some omega-6 south in our diet, the problem arises when we consume them in large amounts without enough omega-3 south to balance the ratio. Too much omega-6 creates the perfect environment for chronic inflammation. For arthritis sufferers, that means more pain signals being fired and less relief. The solution here is not complicated: switch to oils with anti-inflammatory properties, like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Both are rich in healthy fats and antioxidants that actually calm down inflammation instead of fueling it. Even this small shift in the type of oil you use daily can create a noticeable difference over time. Another common trap is processed and cured meats, things like bacon, hot dogs, sausages, and deli meats. These foods are convenient and flavorful, but they're also loaded with preservatives, saturated fats, and advanced glycation end products, which trigger inflammatory pathways. Studies have consistently linked processed meats to higher levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in the body. If you find yourself eating these frequently, they could be directly worsening your arthritis symptoms. A healthier approach is to lean on lean proteins, such as fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel, which provide omega-3 fatty acids known to reduce inflammation and protect joint health. For those who prefer plant-based options, lentils, beans, and quinoa can offer protein without the inflammatory side effects. Dairy products are another gray area that catches many people by surprise. For some individuals, dairy can trigger an immune response that worsens inflammation and joint pain. This doesn't affect everyone equally, But if you find that consuming milk, cheese, or ice cream leaves you feeling achier, it may be worth experimenting with dairy alternatives. Unsweetened almond milk, coconut yogurt, or fortified oat milk can often provide the creaminess and satisfaction without the inflammatory reaction. On the other hand, fermented dairy like plain Greek yogurt may actually support gut health in some people, which can help reduce inflammation indirectly. The key here is to listen to your body and notice how it reacts. One of the most overlooked categories is fried and fast foods. French fries, fried chicken, and even some packaged snacks are high in trans fats and compounds that form during high-temperature frying. These compounds can directly trigger inflammation in the body and make arthritis flare-ups more frequent and more painful. If your routine includes regular fast food stops or fried meals, this may be one of the strongest drivers of joint pain. The solution isn't just to avoid fried foods but to replace them with baked or grilled alternatives that deliver flavor without the inflammatory punch. Even better, incorporating spices like turmeric or ginger when cooking can add an anti-inflammatory boost to your meals. Now, here comes the surprising item that many people consume daily without realizing the damage: soda and sugary drinks. Whether it's cola, fruit juices with added sugars, or energy drinks, these beverages deliver massive amounts of sugar, artificial sweeteners, and chemical additives that inflame the body and accelerate joint damage. What makes them particularly harmful is that they don't provide any nutritional value, leaving your body inflamed and nutrient-starved at the same time. A simple but powerful switch is to replace these drinks with water infused with lemon, herbal teas, or even green tea, which contains antioxidants that actively reduce inflammation. Cutting out soda alone can create a noticeable reduction in joint pain within just a few weeks. At this point, you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of changes. But here's the important thing. This isn't about restriction or giving up all the foods you enjoy. It's about awareness and making smarter choices that tip the balance toward healing rather than harm. The beauty of food is that every meal is a new opportunity to support your body instead of working against it. And while the foods we've discussed can fuel inflammation, the substitutions we've mentioned, berries, whole grains, olive oil, fatty fish, plant-based proteins, and green tea, can calm inflammation and help your body repair itself. Now, why does this matter so much? Because inflammation is not just about joint pain. Chronic inflammation is tied to fatigue, reduced mobility, weight gain, and even increased risk of other conditions like heart disease and diabetes. When you take control of your diet, you're not only reducing arthritis symptoms, you're reinvesting in your long-term health and quality of life. Imagine waking up with less stiffness, being able to move more freely, and having the energy to enjoy your day without being weighed down by constant pain. That transformation begins with simple choices in the kitchen. To summarize, the foods most likely worsening joint inflammation include added sugars, refined carbs, vegetable oils high in omega-6, processed meats, dairy for some individuals, fried and fast foods, and sugary drinks. By becoming aware of these hidden culprits and replacing them with nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory alternatives, you give your body the chance to heal, reduce daily pain, and improve your overall vitality. And remember, small changes over time lead to big results. Even replacing just one or two of these foods in your routine can start shifting your inflammation levels in the right direction. So now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods do you find hardest to give up, or maybe you've already made some of these changes and noticed a difference? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who's struggling with the same challenges. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you know who's dealing with joint pain. Together, we can spread practical, natural solutions that truly make a difference. And if you want to dive deeper, check out my other video on the best anti-inflammatory foods to eat every day. It's packed with tips that complement everything we've discussed here. Because at the end of the day, living with arthritis doesn't have to mean living with constant pain. With the right knowledge and the right choices, you can take back control and feel the freedom of moving with less stiffness and more strength. And it all starts with what you put on your plate.